Okay, now it's a big moment. Will there be something else that will stop us getting this disc on? Hello and welcome back to the Volks Wizard channel. Now, even though it's been over 9 years since it set the front wheel drive lap record at the Nürburgring's Nordschleife, the Mk7 Golf GTI Clubsport S is still seen as peak golf by many people when it comes to driving dynamics. So much so that when VW were developing the Golf GTI Edition 50, which is out in a few months, they benchmarked it against this car. But there's one area where the Edition 50 trounces the Clubsport S, and that is the brakes, because it's equipped with a 357mm front discs and 2 piston calipers from the Mk8 Golf GTI Clubsport and R, while the Clubsport S just has 340mm discs and single piston calipers, which were deemed suitable for the Nürburgring Nordschleife lap record because it's not actually particularly heavy on brakes and they are nice and light, which is in keeping with the ethos of the rest of the car. But if you show a Clubsport S a proper circuit with really heavy braking zones, it soon gains a reputation for having chocolate brakes. So in today's video, we're going to put that right by fitting these massive discs from a Mk8 R and it's pretty chunky 2 piston calipers, which are rather blue, but we'll sort that out in a later video. Now, I'm hoping this will be a relatively straightforward plug and play upgrade because this is an MQB platform car and these brakes are from an MQB platform car as well. Can it really be that easy? Well, let's get cracking and find out. Okay, before we get fitting, I just want to say big thanks to subscribers old and new. We're on about 68,500 now, which is pretty good going, so big thanks for your support. It means an awful lot. Another way you can support the channel is to sell me your interesting Volkswagen Group vehicles, so Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche. I'm buying a lot of VWs now, could do with a bit of a change, so some Audis and Porsches would be great. So if you've got anything with full history, average mileage or below, completely unmodified and in really good condition, and you're thinking about trading it in, that's quite important, then get in touch with me by email, andrew@volkswizard.co.uk. Okay, let's talk about the parts then. I bought them off eBay from a breaker in Wednesbury in the West Midlands called Car Parts Shop. Check out their shop, they've got lots of golf parts on there, really good comms, and I'm really happy with the price that I paid. There are some red GTI ones on eBay at the moment for 900 quid, but you can get them for like 810 because they sent me that kind of offer. And that again seems pretty good value for money, bearing in mind what you get. I got, and I think the red ones on there give you the fronts, calipers, pads, discs, hoses, and the backs as well, complete. So I don't really need the backs. I'll save those for a rainy day, I'll put them back on eBay. So what have we got then? We have got these calipers then, 2 pistons there, you can see the pistons. They're made by a company called ZF, big car parts manufacturer, so they're not Brembo or anything like that. ZF logo there, I think that's part of TRW as well. And yeah, apart from the fact the R logo is pretty faded, which is a bit of a surprise considering that apparently they're from a 2024 car. They're in really good nick, but they're the wrong colour. We're going to sort them out by sending them to BCS, brake caliper specialists in Nottingham, who are going to check them over, important, and also change the colour, put a stencil GTI logo on there as well, so they should like Edition 50 all being well. And I'm going to go for their lifetime warranty paint, which means that they put a load of lacquer over the stencil as well, so they guarantee it not to fade. That's good because they're going to get really hot on track. Discs, well, these are in pretty good condition. Most people wouldn't recommend you use the discs, but these are hundreds of pounds each, and I've got to at least try them. There's a bit of surface corrosion on them, but they seem in really good nick. There's a little bit of a lip. I'm going to test fit everything now in the blue and just make sure everything works. Then they're going to be shipped up to BCS when I know everything works. So these on eBay, 200, 250, probably worse condition than this. I think if you buy them from Volkswagen, I would imagine that's going to be a £400 disc. That it's an SHW disc, I think. And yeah, it's SHW. They do Audi RS. And yeah, they're quite expensive. So hopefully they will work okay. There's an interesting spring fitting for the pad in these. You probably can't see in this light, but it's a lot more intricate than the ones on the current calipers, which cause the pads to rattle. They've got some crap springs in those 340 calipers. They've obviously taken great steps to stop that happening. Pads, well, we're going to use these original ones for now, but I think when they come back from BCS red, I'm going to fit, annoyingly, EBC blue stuff pads because they work really well in the existing calipers when I took the car on track last year at Bedford. One thing worth pointing out is because the calipers are so much bigger, you can no longer fit 17-inch wheels on your car, should you ever wish to do that now. In the UK, most people don't run winters, but a 17-inch wheel is not an unusual wheel on a Mark 7 as a winter. But you can still run 18s because obviously Mark 8R comes with 18s as standard. I think that is everything. I've got some brake fluid here from Febby Bilstein, which I ordered from Amazon, came next day, and it was good value, about £8 for a litre each. So yeah, let's get fitting them to my Clubsport S and keep our fingers crossed that they actually do work. Okay, let's start off then by getting the old girl up in the air. Okay, and then get an axle stand under the subframe. It's aluminium on this car, so there's a nice thick bit just under where I think the rear bush mounts. But still be gentle. Okay, wheel off. Always crack these loose before you jack the car up because you'll often find somebody's over tightened them, or you'll have to drop it back down again. Okay, so there we have the 340s. Interestingly, this disc is not original to this car. It's got no lip on it at all. So it was fitted, I think, probably just before I got the car. Okay, so we're going to take the caliper off complete with the carrier. So let's undo the brake pad wear sensor. Like so. And then we'll undo the hose for the fluid. Now I've pressed the brake pedal down to stop the fluid flowing and held it down. Thanks for that tip. Mitchell Docker, mobile mechanic in the area where I used to work. And then we're just going to undo the 11mm union. There'll be a bit of fluid, but it should stop. But it might pour out the caliper quite a lot. But it's not coming out the hose, that's the important bit. I have used a breaker bar on these already, so they're dead easy to get off with a ratchet, but breaker bar is going to be your friend, especially if you've not had them undone recently. Okay, there's the old single piston caliper. That was easy. Now for the disc, which is only held on by a T30, but like a lot of jobs on cars, a simple job can get complicated if this screw breaks when you try and undo it. So just try and loosen the threads a bit by tapping it with a hammer, and there we go. But like I said, these are not the original discs, so these have been off quite recently, not by me. I'm not going to sell these. These are definitely staying with the car because they're an important part of its spec. Don't let this fall on your knee. And there we have what Volkswagen call the knuckle, which is unique to the Clubsport S because of the extra camber they've incorporated into it. I do need to give that a clean up though, because corrosion on this face can cause a judder in the brake. So let's just do that. I've got to cover up that union while I do it so we don't get dust in it. Okay, went to town a bit with that, just cleaning the knuckle and the flange as well. That's steel, so it was a bit corroded. So we'll just give it a good clean with some brake cleaner. get the brake dust off the splash plate, which is in good condition, especially for a 9-year-old car. Now I've just realised something that you guys might have already realised. We don't have the splash guards for the bigger discs. So it will be highly unlikely whether they will fit in the gap available here without touching the metal. It's not really a problem now, because if they do rub, I'll just take these off and then I'll get some for when we fit them permanently once they come back from BCS, when they're in the right colour. So yeah, we're ready now to try the disc. So these are very similar to the originals. Just a little bit bigger. So actually the same construction, same drilling, same everything, just bigger. And maybe they even take the same screw. Right, let's see how we get on. Okay, yeah, we definitely can't use the splash guard. Did you hear that? Oh, I did. Yeah, that's not a good noise. You've got to be careful these don't shear off as well, because they haven't moved for 9 years. I'm a bit scared now, because I haven't planned to do this bit, and I definitely haven't planned to try and get a broken bolt out. That's come out, that's good. Okay, now it's a big moment. Will there be something else that will stop us getting this disc on? If there is, well then we're in big trouble, because it might need a new hub. So fingers crossed it won't. It's pretty good. Okay, I'll just get a wheel bolt in to hold it on. Okay, that's on. It fits like it was. I'm still checking this is not the original disc, because it seems to fit really well. Looks very similar. Okay, that's tight enough for now. Slight complication again is that the hose that comes with the Mk8 calipers has got a bigger union on it than the one on the Clubsport S calipers. So that doesn't fit in there. And that kind of makes sense, because that's the piston that we're trying to push. These are the pistons that we're trying to push on the 8R. So obviously it needs more fluid. So we're going to have to fit these hoses. Again, this is just for testing. I may well change these when I get the calipers back from BCS, because yeah, we don't know what's happened to these in the car's life. Okay, it's important to get the dust out from this connection so you don't get into the braking system. Okay, so we're going to hold the hose with the 17mm spanner and then release the pipe. Done. Interestingly, quite a bit of corrosion on that union, so yeah, one to watch. Okay, that's out. Now we need to fit the new hose into the bracket. Let's hope it fits. Yeah, that's perfect. And then does it reach? Yeah, looks pretty good. Let's pop that cap off then and get it connected. Yep, happy that's tight. Hose is there, awaiting the caliper. Okay, this really is a big moment then. Okay, now it's time to get the caliper on, so just beware of fluid coming out of it. Please, please fit. Okay, it's bolted on just fine, so that's good. Now we need to connect the fluid hose. Okay, so let's nip that up. 11mm. Don't over tighten it though because you're screwing into alloy. Will the brake pad wear sensor plug straight in? My God, it does. Nice click. Wow. But it's not over yet. Let's get the wheel on because that's quite important as well. We are on. Okay, nope, we're well clear. There's no contact, so all good. Obviously, I need to bleed this corner of the car, but I'll do that when I've fitted the other side. So let me fit the other side, bleed the brakes, and we can go for a test drive and see how good this brake upgrade really is. Okay, so that's both sides fitted, both sides bled. If you want to see a video about bleeding your brakes on your Golf GTI or R, then I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. It's really simple, you just need to have a nice pressure bleeder, and once you've got that, it's a really enjoyable job to do. So now we're going to see how they work, but I think from an aesthetic perspective, even with corrosion on the disc, which will come off as we use them, I think they look amazing. They look like a little bit more purposeful than the original brakes. Obviously they look a lot better if they were red with the GTI logo on, but that will come. So yeah, let's now go and check that they work at least as good as the old ones, hopefully better. Okay, well, I am quite excited because I've been looking forward to this upgrade since I bought this car 2.5 years ago. So let's go. Anytime you work on the brakes, make sure you reset the pads before you move the car by pressing the pedal a few times, and just make sure you've got a pedal. Got to remember the discs were a little bit corroded, so we need to just clean them up a bit. But straight away the feel is pretty good. I think we just had a little lock up then. Conditions are pretty good. It's been a showery day today, but it currently is quite dry. So yeah, pedal feels good. I am almost tempted to fit upgraded brake hoses, but I think they take away a bit of the feel, because some of the feel comes from the compression of the hose. But we'll see. These ones feel all right. Ooh, yes, definitely more ABS activity. Okay, so driving normally first, let's see how it feels. So, yeah. All right, let's do a stop then from 50, which we're doing right now. No one behind us. Yeah, that's pretty good. Best keep driving now. Cool them down a bit. Okay, so far so good then. Another benefit of these calipers is that I think they're going to fix the rattle that I've suffered in this car since I bought it. I was pretty sure it was the brake pads rattling in the calipers after I'd taken the whole car apart, put it back together. So when I put the EBC pads in back in October last year, I thought they might have fixed the problem, being different pads, but actually I think those calipers just haven't got a very good spring system for the pads, so the pads can rattle around. I mean, the calipers are used on so many other cars, Golf Rs for example. There aren't really that many cases of that rattle, but I don't know, maybe there's just something a bit funny with them. Anyway, the spring system on these calipers and pads is completely different to those, and already I'm pretty sure that rattle's gone, which I'm ever so relieved about, because like I said, it's been affecting my ownership of this car. Anyway, now I need to take them off and send them to BCS to check them over, and then hopefully they'll be back in time for Bedford Autodrome on the 23rd of August. How fast? So if you want to come to that, go to the MSV website, have a look at How Fast. I can highly recommend it because it's only £109 and there aren't a lot of people on track at the same time. So if you're a bit nervous, especially the fact it's at Bedford Autodrome where there's so much runoff, it's a great place to start track time. I know it's timed and therefore you might think it's competitive. Actually, you're on your own pretty much for the time lapse, so that's not even a problem. You can just ignore the timing and just revel in what is effectively an empty track, and also it's a track that Evo used for their times as well. So yeah, I can't wait. That's in about another, what day is it today? It's 3 weeks. Yeah, so there should be enough time to get them back, get them on the car, and have a lot of fun. As ever, guys, thanks for watching this Volkswagen video. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.